Yeah. Didn't replace it. The phone at full price.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Put the candles on.
All right. Let's see.
That's one.
We're going live.
Okay. Got it.
We're going live. Let's see what we got.
There it goes. It says you are live.
Says I am live. Okay. We got the hardcore here, huh?
Hardcore
We got the hardcore group in here. And I'm scared.
I'm scared.
I'm scared. So we start out with the song here where we're building the audience and at the same time get a chance to tune in from brother John here. I want some truth here.
I have to talk to you, Chris, about that yoga thing. They do adaptive yoga. Taking my hip. I need to adapt to hip.
Tuesdays and Thursdays at July, 1:30 to 3.
Close to yours.
Yeah.
Welcome to a way of mastery.
I need night.
Yeah, they would have come
Check. It's right over here.
Yeah. 19.
Yeah.
19 Pro.
Sinless, you are sinless, love you like you are. Your invulnerability was your father's guarantee. Like you would forever be completely free. You are guiltless, you are guiltless, you are a child of God. You are guiltless, love you let you are. Your vulnerability was your father's guarantee. Like you would forever be completely free.
So you are sinless.
Keep on singing, keep on praying, keep on singing. Yes, you keep on singing the blues.
Keep on singing the blues.
When you gonna start singing?
When you gonna stop singing?
Gonna start singing.
When you gonna stop singing? You ain't got nothing to lose. The way of mastery. The way of mastery. Come on now. Yes. Hey, what?
You are sinless, you are sinless, you are a child of God.
You are sinless. You are sinless. Love you like you are. Your invulnerability was your father's guarantee that you would forever be completely free. But you keep on singing. Yeah, you keep on singing. You keep on singing the blues.
It's time for you to quit singing.
Time for you to quit singing.
It's time for you to quit singing.
It's time for you to quit singing.
It's time for you to learn. You got nothing to lose.
You have nothing to lose. singing the blues, Cheryl. Time to stop singing, Jane.
Yes.
Time to stop singing, CJ. It's time to stop singing the blues. You are sinless, you are a child of God. You are sinless, you are sinless, love just the way you are. You are sinless, you are sinless, you are sinless, you are sinless. Wait, everybody but you.
That's all right. Forgive myself.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
We'll stand in forgiveness with
Yes,
you.
sir. That's right. We'll stand in forgiveness.
That's right.
With you. Who was that? John. That was John Christmas. The name of the CD is called DreamOnJohnChristmas.com. And he's a good friend of mine, and I love how the music is directly related to what I'm teaching. Mm-hmm. So that's good stuff.
I made a guess, John.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And Christmas like the holiday, right?
Yeah, Christmas like the holiday. Yeah. Okay. Sophia, Stella, Melissa, Eddie, Elizabeth, Demola, CJ, Marlette, the gang is all here.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
the gang is all here. Maureen, thank you for being online, and all the other people that are gathering online. There have been several hundred people joining us. So we have a lot of mighty companions that's with us tonight. You don't have to believe it, accept it, welcome it. Some of it is going to be hard to believe and quite startling. You are not asked to judge the ideas at all. The use of the ideas will give the ideas meaning to you and will show you that the ideas are true. Show us that the ideas are true, Holy Spirit. Show us that the ideas are true, higher power. Show us that the ideas are true, higher power. Show us that the ideas are true. Tonight in the way of mastery, we're going to be on lesson 28. Lesson 28, even after you just ate. Lesson 28. Lesson 28, after you have just ate. You and you alone create your tomorrows. Lesson 28, you and you alone create your tomorrows. Page 325. Page 325 in the way of knowing. Amanda, go ahead. Nana, welcome. Don't forget to interact with each other and join in and ask questions and make comments. The section that we're going to cover tonight is called You Decide Which Thoughts Will Influence Your Life. 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 I decide which thoughts will influence my life. All right, here we go. All fields of thought, then, in a sense, wash up to the shoreline of your being. All your thoughts wash up to the shoreline of your being. That means you elect what influences will enter your sphere. So it's no such thing as anybody else being able to influence your sphere unless you elect it. So can nobody like zap you with some type of evil thought that's supposed to affect you some kind of way? Unless you let it into your psychic arena, no one can influence you. Some of these thoughts and influences will pass through. Oh, thank God for electronics. Then I got big old words. I can make my fonts whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm real funky.
Yeah.
Some people are funky, I'm funky. Oh, I got a big old font.
You've got
I get it.
I got a big old font. All right. Oh, that's so much better. Okay. So, some of these influences will pass through. Some of these influences you will begin to become identified with. You will take some of these influences on as your thought. So, does that mean that what a lot of people think is actually just other influences that they become identified with? You will form an agreement with the nature of that thought. So that means you will value that thought, and that means you will create experiences that flow from what? Your agreement, which is your valuation. So I don't create experiences from the thoughts unless I go into agreement with it. So I have to go into agreement before the thought has an influence. So it doesn't matter what anybody is saying around us. For us to create an experience, we have to agree with it. For virtually all beings born into the what sphere? Human sphere. One such agreement is, so all of us, according to this, we have one such agreement, which is, I am just the body, and therefore I am separate from all others. That's the basic belief to come into the human sphere. I'm a body and I'm separate from you. I'm a body and I'm separate from you. You are bodies and you're separate from me. Now that's an agreement. So before we entered into this sphere, we all agreed that we would think we were bodies and be separate from each other. So that's no accident. This is merely an agreement. We made a decision to create this experience of being what appears to be separate bodies that are different from each other, according to this. So you are equally free to say within yourself, I am more than a body. My mind is vast and unlimited, and that is the deeper essence of my identity, and that's the deeper essence of my experience. So I'm going to say that in a couple of minutes. I am more than a body. My mind is vast and unlimited, and that is the deeper essence of my identity and my existence. Let's say it again. I am more than a body. My mind is vast and unlimited, and that is the deeper essence of my identity and my existence. I am in perfect communication with all forms of life at all times. I am in perfect communication with all forms of life at all times. I am in perfect communication with all forms of life at all times. You are in perfect communication with all forms of life at all times. I need only withdraw my attention from my perception of what? Of my body to do what? To access communication with who? Anyone at any time. So I need to only withdraw my attention from my perception of my body to access communication with any one of you at any time. So I will be more in touch with real communication with each and every one of you mentally, psychically, as I begin to take the focus off of thinking that I'm a body. Because that's the idea that I'm separate from you, so therefore it interferes with my ability to communicate. I once said in A Course in Miracles, you have never forgotten the body even for a moment. Not even for a moment. You have never forgotten the body. You didn't like you come over here and went, damn, I forgot my body.
No.
Had not happened one single time. That's right. That's right. I knew I forgot something. It's still laying on the couch. His favorite place. And yet, a moment is all it takes to realize that you are not a body. It only takes a moment to realize that you are not a body. It takes only a moment to realize that you are not a body. I did not mean by this that you should deny your body. I'm not saying you should deny your body. I'm not saying you should deny your body. But rather that you be willing to surrender your perception of what your body is. So what is that? That is not a device that really separates you at all. So to render my perception of what the body is simply me telling myself that even though it looks like I'm separate, I'm not. Mm-hmm. That's surrendering my perception of what my body is, because originally my body was made as a result of an agreement to have a separate experience. Mm-hmm. But I'm not really separate from you. So the only type of perception that is asking us to let go of is the perception that the body really separates us even though it looks like it. Mm-hmm. Okay, any thoughts, any questions, any comments about those paragraphs? It was a lot in that. Mm-hmm. Also online, you have any questions, you have any comments about what we are talking about? Blessings from Argentina. Juan, it's really great. Thank you for checking us out from Argentina.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. Okay, any thoughts? Carolyn?
I really, really love this, what we're equally free to say, instead of I am just the body. This I am more than a body. My mind is vast and unlimited. That is cool. You could meditate on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. I love that. I love that. I love my mind is vast and unlimited. Mm-hmm. I am more than a body. I'm more than a body. Anybody else?
Well, I like the first paragraph. All fields of thought, then, in a sense, wash up to the shoreline of your being.
A little bit louder.
All fields of thought, then, in a sense, wash up to the shoreline of your being. You elect what influences will enter into your sphere. Mm-hmm. I really like that first whole paragraph because, and I'm gonna make a plug, but like that book you were saying, The Untethered Soul, talks exactly about that. Mm-hmm. That we're not our thoughts, we're not our emotions, we're just the awareness behind it.
And that's what this has been talking about. In the Course in Miracles has been talking about. In the Way of Mastery. In the Course of Love. But it's interesting how how you can hear it through the untethered soul. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like we all. That's why I love that the truth comes to us in many different forms, so that we'll get it one way if we don't get it another way. Yeah. You know. So thank you. Anybody else in here? Online. Maureen says agreement is the key word, and I like that. That it's only when I go into agreement with something that it can have influence on me. That's a great thought. We got somebody from our old hood. Evidently, his name is Junebug.
Her name is June.
Her name is Junebug. Do you know that's like a black thing now? it was always when I was growing up. I know. When I was growing up, that was one of the most common nicknames among black folk. You always had a buddy named Junebug. That's a trip. Sorry, June. I don't mean to be anything. You got the cutest little name. Hey, Junebug. Melissa says, thanks. That is perfect teaching for me. Hello from Ireland. I am in Costa Rica at the moment, even though I'm saying hello from Ireland. You're really pulling something off there. You're saying hello from Ireland, even though you're in Costa Rica. Yeah. Connor, what your butt doing at home, boy? You're supposed to be here. Past and future make the body.
He's making guilt.
Oh, he's making guilt. He's a Scorpio. He's making guilt. He's making guilt. He's somewhere making guilt. He is. He's a Scorpio. Ain't no doubt about that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Anybody else? Okay. The next paragraph. I once said in a course, why is this so? Why is this so? Why is what so? That even though the body looks like it separates you, it doesn't. He says, you once decided, here's it. Okay, now this is answering the question I've heard people ask all the time. How do we get here in the first place? You ready? Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. The answer will be more confusing than the question. Yeah. Okay, just wanted you to know that. Exactly. If you think you're going to feel much clearer, you're probably going to... No. He said, why is this so? You once decided to dream the impossible dream. To dream the impossible dream. And the impossible dream is the dream of separation. So you once decided to dream the impossible dream. What is the impossible dream? The dream of separation. The body is the result of that thought. What thought? The attempt to create something that succeeds in separating you from the mind of God. So we need to be with that for a minute. you once decided to have a dream, the dream of being separate. Voila. And the body is the result of that, because you're attempting to create something that actually succeeds in separating you from God. Now, just like in most other areas of your life, you have never succeeded. Okay, now, that's what it says right here. But you have never succeeded. So that's a good never succeeded. What is it that you've never succeeded at? Separating you from the mind of God. Separating you from the mind of love. You are still joined to God, love. Okay? Now, for in the moment that began to emerge, the Holy Spirit, which is your loving right mind, already translated it into something that is not a separation device. So the love in you, the God in you, the truth in you, even though it was originally conceived to be, the body was conceived to be a separation device, it's really now being used by Spirit as a communication device. You failed, the Holy Spirit didn't. So that's what I'm using my body for tonight. And that's what you're using your bodies. We're using our bodies as a means to communicate and to join minds and to join with each other. Where at first the body was used to make us be separate from each other, to look like we're separate from each other. This means, you know something, you always see people analyzing a lot of times what these books are saying. But if you pay attention when you're reading, almost every 2 or 3 words it says, this means. So it's actually telling us what it's saying, even though there's a part of us that wants to analyze it, right? But he's telling you, okay, I'm going to tell you what I mean. This means that the body itself is constantly receiving input.
Yes.
In the form of a subtle energy vibration from everyone and everything around it. So we are now giving each other subtle energy vibrations. Oh, that's what that is. Okay. All right. You're like a giant radio station that's picking up and transmitting signals constantly. You're like a giant radio station. You are transmitting and receiving constantly. And you attract the people who are on your wavelength. That's what's so cool, right? If you would like proof of this, and especially if you would like proof of how powerful thought is, as thought expresses vibration, how? Through the body, simply create what you would call in your world dowsing rods. Anybody ever made one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Take 2 pieces of metal. It could be 2 parts of a coat hanger. Bend them so that you can gently hold one end and hold them in your hands about 6 inches from your body. Then have a friend stand about 20 feet away from you. Have that friend think thoughts of negativity, such as I'm unworthy, I'm not worthy of being loved, I have no energy, I'm not worth anything. As they're doing that, walk toward the friend and see how close you get before your dowsing rods of metal begin to move around. Then back up and find just the edge where their energy field is influencing the dowsing rods. Then step back another 20 or 30 feet and have them change their minds. In other words, have them begin to think loving thoughts, such as, I am one with God. Love flows through me perfectly. I am so glad to be alive. They don't even have to say it out loud. They need not move a muscle. They need only think differently. Then again walk toward them when they're thinking loving thoughts and see when you find the point where the rods in your hands begin to move about. You will find that their energy field is much larger than the positive thought than with the energy thought, the negative thought. So you should be able to feel them a lot further out if they're thinking loving thoughts than when they were thinking negative thoughts. Now, your body is like a divining rod. I'm not going to go there. And so is everyone else's. Do not say that to the Sagittarius. Your body, Sama, be good.
I was laughing because she was laughing.
That's right, it was her. I love it. I love it. He said, therefore, those with confidence, those who love themselves, those who are not concerned with the good opinions of the world, those who just go forward in the direction of what they love, are the ones that seem to gain the greatest support in the universe. Okay, so I need to hear that again. So how do you gain the greatest support from the universe? If you have confidence, if you love yourself, and most of all, if you're not concerned with the good opinions of the world, and you just keep moving forward in the direction of what you love, that's how you get the greatest support from the universe. I'll say it again. To get the greatest support from the universe, Be confident. Love yourself. Don't be concerned about what other people think, and keep on going toward what you love. That's the person that will seem to gain the greatest support. Why? Because when such a person walks into a bank to get a business loan, already knowing that this is a great idea, that they're going to bring the fullness of their being to it, and that they could not possibly fail, by just walking in the door, that person is bringing an energy field that influences and touches the loan officer. Those that walk in thinking, God, I wish I could get this business loan, but I just don't know. I don't have any experience in this. They're going to look at me like I'm a jerk. Then they're walking in with a much reduced energy field. It is very weak. The quality of vibration of the thought, the quality of the vibration of the thought is emanating out and touching the energy field of who? The loan officer. And if you were the loan officer, whom would you rather do business with? The person that comes in with no confidence, or the person that seems like they have confidence about what it is they're trying to do? The same thing is true in any area of your life. Who are you going to be the most attracted to? A person that comes up to you that's full of confidence and joy and energy and love that's moving towards you, or somebody you can tell is already scared and negative and fearful before they even come into your sphere. Therefore, when love is the way, when love is the field of energy that you're abiding within, everywhere you go, you're touching the universe in a way that is much more subtle than the conscious mind. It's been interesting how many times I've gone to restaurants lately and ended up hugging the server. That before the meal is over, we have made such a great connection with each other that we hug before I leave out of the restaurant. And it's because I try to shoot out as much positive energy as I possibly can, whether it's male or female. Because that's me walking up serving me. So I want to give them what I'd like to receive. You know, and then they feel it because it's our energy fields that are connecting up. So you are abiding within this energy. Everywhere you go, you are touching the universe in a way that is much more subtle than what? The conscious mind. And the universe will do what? Respond to you. Because love responds to love. Love responds to love like a flower that opens to the sunlight. Love responds to love. Fear doesn't tend to respond to love. A fearful man doesn't tend to respond to love. As a matter of fact, a fearful man tends to run away from it.
Yes.
A loving man runs toward other loving minds.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that blows people's mind when they go to Burning Man, is that you're in this all these people that are in most cases are radiating love to everybody around them. And so there's an instant trust in the click that happens. Then the whole thing is set up so that no money is exchanged, and that everything is giving. And so you have this great loving energy. So that's what I hope to achieve whenever we're together. I'm always hoping that we will take advantage of us being together to give and receive love to each other, which doesn't require anything of us, really, other than to have gratitude and recognize that even though our bodies look separate, we're not really separate, even though it looks like it. Any thoughts? Any thoughts? Any thoughts? Any questions? Any comments? Any thoughts?
I did have where it said, you are like a giant radio station that's picking up and transmitting signals constantly. So this Sunday I went to this event called Rumpus. And at first I was apprehensive and I was shut down. But then I remembered your prayer, Earl, and I was like, Holy Spirit, just bring the people to me that I'm supposed to interact with, and bring me to the people that I'm supposed to interact with. And then, oh my God, like I started like bumping into these people that I hadn't seen in a long time, and like there was just such beautiful connection, and oh my God, I just had such a good time. And I was just like blown away. I was like, wow, Holy Spirit answers really quick.
So you had a quickie, huh? Yeah. I know. I went to Rumpus and I didn't see nobody I knew. I couldn't believe y'all were there. I walked around. did not see anybody but John. That was the only person I saw. It's a trip. If you look again, I saw all y'all's pictures together. Y'all had a good time. I know y'all doing. Where's Rod? You know. Okay, well, I wouldn't suffer at another party. That's why I like to have a lot of people that love me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, yeah, you're right. Your vibration attracted to you. Anyone else online or in the room?
So Stella says, we are agreements of frequency, even with each other. Now, dowsing hats now required.
Dowsing hats?
Yeah. For the God honing system.
I think that's interesting, too, that it said your body is a divining rod.
Yes.
And so that kind of explains what we call attractions in our body. Or you're around somebody and you feel, you call it, I feel attracted to them. And you get, so I just should walk up to somebody and say, my divining rod. What's going on with my divine? I'm in your presence. You don't think that'd be the smartest? Okay, all right. I just thought I'd get a little advice. You know, you've heard enough people say that already. Okay. Not a very original approach. Huh?
Your divining rod says, run!
My divining rod says, run! That's the truth. And then sometimes it's just the opposite, though, that you just feel yourself compelled to move towards a person where you just can't help yourself.
That's right.
You know. Doug Smith, good to see you online. Thanks, brother.
Tell him Patrick made it on time.
And Doug Patrick made it on time. and
But that was on time for him.
That was on time for him. Norma says, like, share, invite, love, love, love. I like that. Like, share, invite, love, love, love. Okay. Let's go on then. We making good progress tonight. You know that you love to be around beings that talk about unlimitedness, that talk about great vision. Why do we like to be around people that talk about unlimitedness? Because these people are reminding you that you too are a great visionary. What does that mean? It means that unlimitedness is the natural state of the kingdom of heaven. So the kingdom of heaven, when you say, I want to go to the kingdom of heaven, you are saying, I want to go to a state of unlimitedness. I want to get back to my natural state. But remember, we decided to have the experience of being separate, which means that we had to create bodies that seem like they're small and limited, but that's not our natural state. And when you start to feel a lot of love and a lot of joy, you'll find that it's almost hard to stay contained within your body. And so we long to get back to our unlimited state. And so it's saying to us that the problem is that you have unwittingly taught yourself to live in fear. The problem is that I've taught myself to live in fear. That means I've taught myself to think negative thoughts. I've taught myself to believe that the opinions of the world mean something. I've taught myself that the opinions of people mean something. I've taught myself that the opinions of people mean something. That means you have literally created a world. You have literally, it said literally, created a world in which people are negative-minded. You've literally created a world where people don't want to support you. And you literally created a world that you do not think you're worth anything. It's talking about a person who lives in fear. A person who lives in fear is someone who taught themselves to live in fear. Then it describes to us what happens after you do that. You have to think negative thoughts. You have to believe that the opinions of the world mean something. Then that means you literally create a world or an environment in which the people around you are negative and they don't want to support you and they don't think you're worth anything. Yet you are the one that is projecting that belief about yourself. And you, therefore, will attract a like vibration because like attracts like. And that one paragraph has said it all. For anybody that's really paying attention, you know why you're surrounded by what appears to be people that you don't like, they don't like you, you don't get along with them, they're negative and they're fearful. They are reflecting your own subconscious beliefs about yourself. They're reflecting your own projected thoughts. And like attracts like. So I believe when you first start to change and you become a more loving person, you'll go through a period where it looks like there's not a lot of people being attracted to you. Because you changed your vibration. You used to be on channel 5 where the negative energy lived. Now you're on channel 3. And so it takes a minute to attract your channel 3 people. Okay? Because you're just seeing your past. Because you used to feel that way about yourself, right? So it's important to remember when you make a radical shift in your consciousness that there will be this interim where you're still seeing the way you used to be as well as moving to the way that you are now. Okay? If you therefore want to attract beings who will support you, if you want to attract people to you who will love you, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. You decide to be a being who supports and who loves. I knew it was a catch. I knew it was a catch. I have to be the person that's loving and supportive if I want to have people around me who are loving and supportive. I remember when I used to think anger made friends, which means if you're really going to be my friend, you should be doing da 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 da. You ever done it? Yeah. I think anger makes friends.
Yeah.
So if I let you know how upset I am with you because of how you're being as a friend, then you will be a better friend. And you will want to be my friend.
You'll stay around.
You'll stay around out of guilt. And so that doesn't work on a loving person. It only works on another guilty person. Who's going to turn around and do the same thing to you, by the way?
Yep.
As soon as you don't do their thing either. So decide to open your arms wide, as we spoke of in the last lesson, to receive the love, to receive the presence, and what? The pleasure of God's presence. The pleasure of the presence of love. Any thoughts, emotions, beliefs, questions? Aaron, Charlene, Stella, Wendy, anybody have any takeaways or realizations?
So Aaron said, really going back to that unlimitedness is our natural state. It says, whatever you can imagine is possible and so much more. Just really resonating with that. And then Stella said, we tend to our gardens of fear. That really struck with her.
And then there's this incredible being named CJ. And she wrote, decide to be a being who loves and supports if I want to be loved and supported. Okay, wow. All right.
Sounds like she's almost
Really? Someday she might exist.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know almost feel her presence in this room. It's like she's here.
I'm merely an illusion.
Anybody else? Anybody thought anything? Going once. Going twice. Okay, here we go. So, think on the loving thoughts. Learn to master forgiveness. Dare to follow your heart. Think on the loving thoughts. Learn to master forgiveness. And don't forget, forgiveness means true perception. Correct perception. It doesn't mean I'm overlooking what you really did to me, you low down son of a gun. Because I'm on a high level of consciousness, so I'm going to overlook what you really did to me. That's not forgiveness. Forgiveness is learn to master correct perception is forgiveness. Seeing things correctly is forgiveness. Releasing is forgiveness. Letting go of the idea if you were different, I'd be happy is forgiveness.
It's the miracle.
That's the miracle. So dare to follow your heart. Celebrate life. You know, when I decided to be a full-time teacher, I was following my heart. I certainly wasn't following what seemed like the most practical thing to do at the time. You know, but once you realize this is all an illusion and it's neutral, then the only thing that really excites you is that you're following your heart. Because it really doesn't make any difference what you do. So at least follow your heart. Because there's nothing on the outside that's going to make you happy anyway.
That's right.
So it's following your heart at that point that's going to make you happy. Because you're no longer under the illusion that something or someone's going to make you happy anymore. So celebrate life. That means do what brings you joy. Walk as one confident in the light of Christ. Christ is your true self, your true loving self. dare to look out upon the world and say, my Father, my Creator, has set the table before me, and every being and blade of grass is here. I love this. Every being and every blade of grass is here to support my enjoyment of God. Every being, everything is what? Here to support my enjoyment of love. That's why you're here. You're here to support my enjoyment of love. I'm here to support your enjoyment of love. That's why we're here. So as you cultivate that kind of discipline, interesting that this book is saying discipline is you being disciplined enough to think on the loving thoughts, learn to master forgiveness, dare to follow your heart, celebrate life, do what brings you joy, walk as one confident in the light of love. So that'd be a trip if that's how you're being scolded. Are you thinking only loving thoughts, learning to master forgiveness? Are you daring to follow your heart? Are you celebrating life? Are you doing what brings you joy? Are you walking as one in the light of Christ? Are you daring to look out the world and say, my Creator has set this table before me, and every being and blade of grass is here to support my enjoyment of God? That's what you need to be doing. And doing your laundry.
Dang it!
That's right. Not necessarily in that order either. All right?
Yeah.
As you cultivate that kind of discipline, your life will change. Your life must change.
I enjoy how much laundry I have and how beautiful it all is.
I can imagine you have beautiful laundry. I know, I see you too. I see all of y'all over there. It's a Gemini, because at least 2 or 3 people at all times.
Yeah.
That's right. Any man that wants lots of women, get you a Gemini. That's right. This little Gemini ad. That's right. That's right.
You mean lots of women in one head?
That's right. It's all. It's like lots of them, all in that one being, multi-dimensional. That's right. That's right.
And we all like you.
Y'all like me. All of you like me. Everyone. Sometimes if I see Patricia, I go, tonight I'd like to see Trisha 5-8. Can she come visit tonight? Okay, Doug said he'll take 10. He'll take 10. He'll take 10. Maureen says, get a Leo then, Doug. Oh, this is turning into mastery.com. Hey, it's kind of outrageous in here.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody, any thoughts online in here? It says, be careful what you want. Be careful what you wish for, Doug. Laugh out loud. All right. Miss Elizabeth. Okay. Okay, let's go to the next one then.
I do want to say something real quick, because the way this book makes discipline sound, it sounds like fun, because I've always thought of discipline as something harsh and stern, and
That's right.
I have to do something
That's
that
right.
I don't want.
That's right.
And then it's like, you know, but this makes it sound fun.
Yeah, I'm going to have the discipline. I'm going to have the discipline to think on the loving thoughts, learn to master forgiveness, dare to follow my heart, celebrate life, do what brings you joy, walk as one, confident in the light of Christ.
Bring the light open.
Think only loving thoughts, learn to master forgiveness, dare to follow your heart, dare to follow your heart. Celebrate life, celebrate life, celebrate life. Do what brings you what? Joy. Walk as one confident in the light of Christ. Walk as one confident in the light of love. Dare to look out upon the world. Dare to look out upon the world. Dare to look out upon the Earl and say, my Creator has set the table before me, and every being and blade of grass is here to support my enjoyment of God. Love. Support my enjoyment of love. Say what? Support my enjoyment of love. What you say? Support my enjoyment of love. One more time. Support my enjoyment of love. Support my enjoyment of love. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I have to put a little funk in there for it to stick with me. Is that right, Yvette? Yes. Trish, Joy. Tamsin. All right. Tamsin's online. So as you cultivate that kind of discipline in your life, what will change? It must. Mm-hmm. Okay, now, beloved friends, we're gathered here today. Mm-hmm. It sounds like Prince.
Channeling from the other side.
Yeah. I'm channeling Prince from the other side. Beloved friends, you are love. But when you decide, as you get up in your day, that you must fear the attitude of the boss, that you must safeguard the feelings of your mate or spouse, that you must sacrifice in order to be conformed to the opinions of the world, you shrink your energy field. Mm-hmm. And the only thing that leaks out is something like the statement, I choose to live in fear. That's what you're saying. I'm not willing to be bold and big and happy. See, most people get up in the morning, they're worried about what's going to happen during the day, and he says that's the same as saying, I choose to live in fear, I'm not willing to be bold and big and happy. I don't want to laugh too much today because somebody might be offended. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I find my ego will do that. Mm-hmm. It would definitely tell me, you don't want to be too much because somebody might be offended. You need to tone it down, Raj, because you don't want to upset nobody. So I'm severely restricting myself at all times when you all see me. I just want y'all to know. I could be a lot wilder than I am.
Yes, me too.
Anybody here could be a lot wilder than I am? Anybody online? That's right. That's right.
You should let your hair down.
As soon as I get some, I will. I'll let my hair down. Pretty much I'll let my hair off. You know?
So down.
Yeah. It's nothing more joyful to feel safe enough to do just that. Mm-hmm. You know. It also says, I don't want to laugh too much today because somebody might be offended. I won't tell you my truth because I don't want to disrupt your energy field. Which is the same as saying, I don't want to upset you. I don't want to upset you, so I'm not going to tell you my truth. How many times do you do that a day? Where you hide your thoughts and don't really share what you're thinking because you don't want to upset the other person. That's because you don't want to disrupt their energy field. I could just see you walking up to somebody and saying, I really don't want to disrupt your energy field, but this is something I need to say to you. Or somebody says something to you and you say, you disrupted my energy field, you fella. You know. All of that is delusion. You are free. You are here to celebrate. You are here to be outrageous. Whoa, I love that. You are here to be, hello, you are here to be outrageous.
Yeah!
And you're also here to be enrageous. Be outrageous and be enrageous. Don't forget the inside and the outside, right? That means you are here to extend love. And love cannot be extended through a contracted energy field. So if I'm afraid to be outrageous, I can't extend love. Extending love is to be willing to be outrageous. How many of you have dared to be outrageous and the next day you went, oh my God, I do that. Oh, all Sagittarius is forever. We should always have our hands up summer. That's true. That's true.
That's called an outrageous hangover.
Yeah, I got an outrageous hangover. Any thoughts about any of the things that I just covered about the energy field, getting up in the morning, online or here?
Doug's renting out his apartment.
Doug is renting out. Doug. This is not Craigslist. This is a class.
But he's willing to take Leos and Gemini.
He's willing to take all Leos and all Gemini.
I have a question, Raj.
Yes.
Like, so I'm kind of experiencing sort of what you're talking about. Like, as I transform, I actually can experience, like, maybe one person in particular in my life, I experience their negativity, and it's a friend, but I'm having a different experience now where I see that it's a negative influence on me, and how do you peacefully
what?
Well, like, so you don't want, it's just a weird situation because you start to see that energy and you feel that it's negative and it's not what you want in your life anymore, but this is a friend that you've been friends with or whatever, and how do you transform that? Like, how do you...
Well, for me, it would be two ways I would transform that. The first thing that I would do is just be outrageous and as joyful as I possibly can. Because usually that person will either join you or they will voluntarily remove themselves from your experience without you having to say anything to them. You know, or if you really feel like you have a really close relationship like you're saying you have, you can simply communicate.
Well, yeah.
You know, you can simply say.
But you're negative. I don't want to be around
not
you.
that you're negative, but
that's always.
Yeah, you know, but more or less, I would tell the truth about it. Say, I really love you and I really want to connect with you, but it does seem like you're pretty much in a negative space most of the time. Is there anything we can do to get beyond that together, or how can I support you? You know, because I'm not trying to kick you out of my life. I want to have a peaceful relationship with you. So I'll be honest enough to say what it is that I'm experiencing in your presence. Or, you know, say I'm not, you know, you don't necessarily have to change if you don't want to change, but I'm letting you know what's going on within me. So if it looks like I'm not choosing to be around as much as I have, then just know that I still love you. That nothing has affected that. But I find, it's funny, I can count the number of people I've had to put out of my life since I got on my spiritual path. I swear to God, they just leave. If you continue to be loving and this person has insisted that they're going to suffer, it's something about it that they'll either join you or they'll make the move. So you may be unwittingly holding back your life. When you're around them.
Well, that something like that happened where she did go away for a long time, and then we just started hanging out again this week, and I felt just it was overwhelming, and it just like it felt like a reversal and this progress I made, and I saw like a different. You know, when someone says things like subtly that
and also keep in mind though that if I'm reacting, then she's also getting me in touch with something within myself that also needs to be looked at, or else I wouldn't be affected by it. You know, so you know, people push your buttons in order to get you in touch with something that needs to be healed in yourself. Because if I was truly as deep into the celebration of myself as I say I am, then it wouldn't affect me one way or the other, because my joy couldn't be affected because it's so strong. So she is kind of getting me in touch with, I have a little stuff of my own. And that's why I came back. Because I know you think you're really happy, but you're not. That's why even though I was gone, now I'm back. You know, yeah. Anybody else have anything that they'd like to share in response to what she just said?
Yeah, and so I've been dealing with a similar situation, Summer, and one of the things, a couple of people in my life are throwing some pretty big challenges at me right now, and so what I've been trying to look at is, how am I challenging? And I know there's a pretty challenging Gemini stuff down there.
I love this. Dolores says, I call it grow or go.
Yeah.
Grow. Whoa, that's right. That was the seat of compassion, wasn't it? I love it. Nana says, recently someone chose to go away from me, and I'm not still feeling my joy yet. So it's a process. It's a process, you know. True, Stella says, A Course in Miracles is immaturity repellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Wendy says, right on, so true. I don't let anyone steal my joy. I love always, and they may choose to go away from me, but I remain in love. And Nana says, I keep repeating, rejection is protection and redirection. Yeah. Rejection is protection and redirection, which is very true. Because in the end, it's not like you don't wish her well, or you want to be separate. You just would love to have a loving experience of her, you know. So so just let her see your outrageous, loving self. You know, be an example of the choice she could make if she would choose to do that. That's what the Course in Miracles and the Way of Master both said, that actually our function is to be happy, to show it's possible to be happy. Yeah, we're supposed to be like showing it's possible to be happy here. And it is possible to be happy here as long as you don't believe your happiness depends on anyone or anything outside yourself. That's the error. That's always the error. That's the hardest one for people to get, is that happiness is a decision. It's not a circumstance. It's a decision. You got to decide to be happy. So anyway, let's go on then. You're welcome. Therefore, teach yourself to notice each fearful thought. That means teach yourself to notice when your energy is contracted. And then do the opposite. Choose to receive love. So if you start to go through a single day and you notice that by 5 o'clock your energy field is not feeling very good. How are you doing? My energy field sucks right now. Ask yourself, where have I been waiting for love to show up? That's what I see a lot of unhappy people doing. They're just waiting. They're unhappy and they're just waiting for happiness to show up. They're waiting for love to show up. And the truth is, we just heard earlier, if you're in that negative field, what are you going to attract? Right, so the people that's going to show up aren't necessarily the people that's going to make you feel good. So where have I been waiting for love to show up as a gift of something or someone else to me? So stop what you are doing and be the one who gives love to yourself. I insist on taking me out, if at all possible, at least once a week. I do. I'll just, it's amazing how many places I'll just go by myself. You know, people think I'm with somebody and it's like, I'm with me.
Yeah.
You know, I give myself what I want other people to give me. You know, and I always get lucky with myself. That's attracted me to me.
Giving love to someone else is the same thing. So it helps just do something nice for somebody.
That's right. You can do that too. But you know, most people are much more prone to actually try to do something nice for someone else quicker than they'll do something nice for themselves. I hope to one day treat myself as good as I treat other people. I find myself being a lot more tolerant and forgiving of the errors of other people than I am about me. I rake me over the coals a lot longer than I rake you over the coals. So now I'm just trying to bring the treatment of myself up to the level that I'm willing to do with you. And so I love that. To be the one who gives love to yourself, simply so that you can enjoy it. You can enjoy it. And the more I can give love to myself, the more grievances I let go of. Because why should I be upset with you if you're not living up to my expectations, which is where grievances come from anyway. It's the expectations I put on everybody. So but what is the expectation? To make me happy in some way. So suppose I'm making me happy. then I don't have anything to really be upset with you about. And so I'm more okay about whatever you do or whatever you don't do because my happiness isn't dependent on that. And the other thing that I like about going out by myself is that you never know what's going to happen. And it's usually cool people you meet that you would not be. Because sometimes people don't come up to you when they think you are in a couple. They just, especially women or men, they just kind of keep their distance. But if they just see you looking like you're an open, pleasant person, and it looks like it's just you, then not only do a single individual come up, my experience is that couples come up a lot. It's really interesting to see how many people will approach me if they feel like I'm available for an interaction. So there are advantages to going out with someone, and there are advantages to going out by yourself. And so, because in either case, it's going to be, see, if you kind of got a little confidence in your vibration, you don't mind doing that.
Right.
If you feel like you're a pretty cool person, you don't mind that. But if you need constant validation, you can't go anywhere by yourself. You know. So I'll say it again. Stop what you're doing and be the one who gives love to yourself simply so that you can enjoy it. Okay, let's acknowledge us. Okay, all right. Now I'm gonna do a quick recap before we go out. I'm going to.
Why are we stopping so early?
Because the class is an hour now.
It is?
It's been an hour for a while. It's
She was out of her body.
And actually, this is open hour because by the time I go through the recap, it's still well, that's because it's anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half. Depends. Okay, just trust me on it. Trust me on it. Because one of the things I'm taking into consideration is that it's a weeknight. And people got to get home, and they got to get up tomorrow. So I decided that I would do it between an hour and an hour and 15 minutes. Okay. All right. Okay. It's only been like that the last 2
Yeah, that's it.
I'm really thrilled. I'm moved. I'm moved that there was one person that didn't like that. Everybody else seemed pretty damn happy.
That's good.
You know, that's right. You're supposed to leave them wanting more. That's it.
Leave them one.
That's right. That's right. But we're supposed to want more.
Yes.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And that's the story of my life. Is that all? All right. We're going to do the financial expression of appreciation.
Good, he's good at being bad.
I really appreciate you all sharing with me as a full-time teacher. I really, really do. So I'm going to pass this around. Those online, if you'd like to share, just go to my website, earlpurdy.com. I really appreciate that. I'm also available for one-on-one sessions called Clarity Sessions, where I work with you toward letting go of any of your blocks or any areas that you see that you'd like to honestly see a change and let go of, using the Course in Miracles, using the Way of Mastery, using the Course of Love. And for those of you who are open to more intuitive, psychic side of things, I also use my knowledge of astrology and numerology that I've been doing for a long time. These are all ways of getting information that can be helpful to you in having the joy and getting in touch with who you really are, what your gifts are, what your lessons are, and how to get past any blocks. So I will invite you to go to my website, earlpurdy.com. It explains my services and what I have to offer. So I look forward to working with you. Thomas, thank you for saying, love you, Earl. I love you too. Trish, you're saying, I want more. And Elizabeth, merci. You said you're speaking all kind of French stuff there. That's kind of, you're going beaucoup, beaucoup, beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup. It's all in the pocket. And thank you, CJ, for putting down the classes that I have coming up, which is the Course of Love Thursday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. All these are Mountain Time. Course of Love, Course in Miracles Sunday at 1 o'clock. And, of course, the Way of Mastery at Tuesday nights at 7. Been having a great great response to the Course of Love. It's really, really,
Yes.
really been powerful.
Sizzling.
Yeah, it was over 1,000 views for that last Thursday night.
Wow.
Yeah. Course of Love is awesome too. I mean, these three teachings,
Absolutely.
the Way of Mastery, the Course in Miracles, and the Course of Love, that's the Holy Trinity for me. You
Yeah.
know, that those three, if you can't get it together with those three, you just need to try something else. That's all. You just need to try something else. Okay. Okay. Now, you just screwed. And Stella says, do not subscribe to littleness and shrink wrap. Make new frequency pathways to greatness and love instead. Everybody's just jumping on it because what I want to do is get everybody to share the quick takeaways, and then we'll wrap it up. And Jacqueline says, what about when you're dealing with people close to you that have addictions, not working, etc.? How is it showing me something about me? As you say, that because there are areas that you have addictions, and there are areas where you're not doing what it is you think you should do. Don't get lost in the form of what people are doing. It's the content is what it's talking about. You know, you have things that you might do, or you are looking at things you have done. So, what am I addicted to? You know, it can be this. It doesn't have to be drugs for you to have an addiction. You don't have to have an addiction in the exact form that the person has an addiction in. But your addiction, the thing you can't help yourself, you just feel compelled to do it no matter what. What are those areas? Just ask yourself, where are they? In my own experience, because one of the things that the ego does more than anything else, when it's hearing the truth, is to flip it to, what about when you're around other people? That's one of the most common things I've heard over the years. What about, well, you apply the truth to yourself. That's your responsibility. If you live what you're learning, that is your responsibility. And the only reason why you wouldn't live what you're learning is you're doing the thing that Spirit told you not to do, which is being concerned about the opinion and the reactions of others. So when you say, what about other people and how they're going to react and how I should relate to them, then if you're being true to yourself, that is how you should relate to them. You being yourself, not altering anything. And then think about it. You're only being asked to remember who they are even when they've forgotten it. You're only being asked to see what they do as a call for love and a call for God. And if you're really smart, you would give them to God and not feel like it was your personal responsibility anyway to change them. You would be asking the Creator, what do you want me to say to them? What do you want me to do? Where do you want me to go? And then you would relate to them in the way that gives you the most peace without attack. Because in the end, they're only going to see and hear what they want to see and hear anyway. So it's not like they will change when they are ready to change. And our job is to realize they are not their ego, that they're just acting according to what they've learned, and you're going to give them an example of what a happy person looks like. You're going to give them an example of what a person that's taking responsibility for themselves look like. But I'm telling you, if you are really honestly shifting, then I'm telling you, those people just will not be in your personal experience after a while. Some kind of way, you know, I remember a time when I wouldn't have ever believed that I could be living in a world where I was not in conflict with anyone. Not a relative, not a friend, not a lover, not a ex, there's not my children, nobody. All the conflict that I ever experience right now is conflict that I give myself.
Yeah.
It is not being caused by external relationships. And I remember a time when I would have thought that was impossible based on the amount of drama that I was creating for myself in my life and how much it looked like other people were upset with me about one thing. I just kept applying what this was saying, and I noticed one day that there was no one anymore in conflict with me, and that made me aware that all the conflict was within myself because I no longer had anything to or anybody to blame for what I was going through. So then I realized, wow, everybody's being loving to you, and you're still feeling some levels of conflict. You're still not feeling complete peace. it's something that's going on inside of me for real. Because there is nobody I can blame. There is nobody I can say is doing something to me. Yet I still don't feel complete peace. That was always the case. But it just didn't look like that because I had projected onto everybody else that they were the ones that were the problem. So I would like to share as much as possible that if you will accept the truth, apply it to you, and for a while let go of being worried about what the other people around you are going through, you will have enough peace that will come over you that you will hear your own internal guidance, and your own internal guidance will tell you what to do with those people. It will tell you exactly how to relate to them and everything, because the name of the game is let me get rid of the blocks to my ability to hear the voice of God and truth inside of me that's guiding me and directing me. That's the real work, is to get rid of the blocks to the awareness of love's presence. Our ego, our wrong mind, always goes outside myself. What can I do outside of myself? How can I change the people outside? How can I get my mama to understand me? How can I get my husband to understand? Forget about all of that. Forget about all of that. It's how can I apply what I just learned tonight to myself? Can I go for the joy? Can I celebrate life? That's the trick. That's the trick. That's the key. Let's see here. Okay. Any takeaways?
Well, I just really appreciate what you just said about that. People only hear what they want to hear, because I've been having a lot of experiences where, like, I'll text people or I'll say something to people and I'll try to, like, word it in just the exact way where I'm trying to convey what I mean, and then they take it like the wrong way. Or I'll try to, like, talk to someone and like use my words in a way where they'll try to, like, understand what I'm trying to convey, and, like, it's just like, they just hear what they want to hear. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, it reminds me of that lesson, like, I have given everything all the meaning that has for me.
To me, that's the most important lesson in the book. Lesson 2. I give everything I see all the meaning that it has for me. That one is everything. That's the one. That's the one. Any other takeaways from any of my mighty companions in here?
Wendy says, we categorize addictions or errors in levels of severity. Anything that misses the mark is a form of addiction to idols. There are no levels. Error is error. Love is love. Keep blinders on and let go of others. Take no mind of them.
Okay, thank you.
My function is to show that it's possible to be happy here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Chris, Elizabeth says you're so cute.
Thank you.
Jacqueline, wow, that's awesome and encouraging. Thank you, Earl. You're welcome. Anybody else? Any takeaways?
I love the reminder that it's okay for me to be outrageous.
Yes.
Encouraged to do so.
You are outrageous.
You
are outrageous. You are outrageous. Anybody else?
When I love myself and let go of the opinions of the world, I gain the greatest support from the universe.
Which one of you said that? Gemini, which one of you said that?
The one that loves me.
That's what you want. That's the one you want to hear from.
Unconditionally.
Unconditionally.
And be as good to yourself as you are to others.
Yeah, be as good to yourself as you are to others.
You have to stop waiting for the love to come from
Stop
outside.
waiting for the
Give
love
it
to
yourself.
show up. That's right. Take yourself out.
Because the love
take yourself
response.
out. Really take
Careful
yourself
how you
out.
say that.
You know what I mean.
On a date.
On a date.
Love responds to itself like a flower that opens to sunlight.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I'm looking for a total yes and a dress.
Oh, yes.
In a dress.
Yeah,
add that in there.
I found it's a lot easier to have what you want when you ask for it. It's so many things in my life I used to just hope people knew. And I found if I just asked for it, you'd be amazed at how many people might say yes. Saves a lot of time. Saves a lot of time. And then if you feel guilty, you won't even ask for it. So I can also tell what I feel innocent about receiving by what I feel innocent about asking for. You know, if I don't feel any fear to ask you, then I'm feeling innocent about it. If I think I shouldn't ask you, then I need to ask myself, what is it I'm wanting to ask you?
Right.
You know, that I don't even feel free to talk about it.
And when you're there, there's no such thing as rejection.
That's right.
No rejection.
There's no rejection.
No.
There's no rejection. The universe knows exactly who will love you the way you are. Who the way you are is perfect for them. I love when in the Course in Miracles when it says that you will be sent a person that who you are is best for them in their level of understanding.
Yeah.
You can't. There's nobody better than that. That the way you are is exactly what they need. That's awesome. Because then you don't have to be anything but yourself and you're serving your purpose. It's not like the sun is straining to make sure it's hot so that all the flowers grow. You know, the sun is just being itself. And you are sons. You know, so just by being around you, I flourish. I can just feel my flower opening as I look at all of you. Oh, yes. Okay. Here we go.
Now you're being called Bruno Mars.
Is that right? There's a cute Bruno Mars. That's right, baby. That's right. Here we go. So I'm going to just take a minute to say the main things that it said we should decide to do. Number one, think on the loving thoughts. Think on the loving thoughts. Learn to master forgiveness. Learn to master forgiveness. Dare to follow your heart. Dare to follow your heart. Celebrate life. Celebrate life. Do what brings you joy. Do what brings you joy. Think only loving thoughts. Think only loving thoughts. Learn to master forgiveness. Learn to master forgiveness. Dare to follow your heart. Dare to follow your heart. Celebrate life. Celebrate life. Do what brings you joy. Do what brings you joy. I say, think only loving thoughts. Think only loving thoughts. Learn to master forgiveness. Learn to master forgiveness. Dare to follow your heart. Dare to follow your heart. I say, dare to follow your heart. Dare to follow your heart. I dare to follow my 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 heart. I do what brings me joy. 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 I celebrate life. I celebrate life. I celebrate life. I celebrate life. Say what? I celebrate life. 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 Now, you are free. I am free. You are here to celebrate. I am here to celebrate. You are here to be outrageous. I am here to be outrageous. You are here to be outrageous.
I am here to be outrageous.
You are here to be outrageous.
I am here to be outrageous.
I am here to be outrageous.
I am here to be outrageous.
You are here to extend love.
I am here to extend love.
You are here to extend love.
I am here to extend love.
You are here to extend love.
I am here to extend love.
We are 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 here to extend love.
I choose to receive 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 love.
You are free. I am 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 free.
I am free.
Free. Let's give it up, buddy. You feel better now. So all of you online, thank you so much for joining. Share, like, comment on these videos because it extends their reach on Facebook. I love you. I appreciate you, and may the course be with you. Love y'all. Thanks so much for showing up.
Yes, you may.
You're still uploading to YouTube all the
Mm-hmm.